Hello. This is my channel Pitbull named Biograph. Today we're gonna be ranking the FNAF games on a tier list. So let's get started. Um, we've got from peak to really good to it qualifies to it's mid or decent, it's okay to I'm not the biggest fan of this game or it's just straight up off. And wouldn't you know it, we're starting off with special delivery. And I gotta say, it's awful. It's not that good. It really isn't. I mean, it has some fun quality to it, but the game is very laggy. It gets very unscary the minute you see Bonnie walking through your fridge. Basically, it's just not a very good FNAF game, and it's very bad. I don't know what they were thinking. It's not the best augmented reality game in any way possible. It's just not good. As for a different tune, I think this is really good. Help Wanted. Right here, Help Wanted is almost the perfect FNAF game. It is really good. It's actually scary. It has good atmosphere, good fun lore, and it doesn't really fuck up the lore as it just expands upon it. And I really like that for it. Help Wanted, you belong in this category. You did good. Good job. Next up, FNAF World. It qualifies. Like over time, it qualifies. It qualifies. Over time, I think my opinions on FNAF World have changed, but I really do like FNAF World still, and it still qualifies as a really good game. It's a good game. It's a good FNAF game. Now, this is where it gets struggle for me. As FNAF 2, I'm gonna have to put it in I'll put it in mainly because of the fact it's more of a rage-bait game rather than it is an actual game, and that gets really annoying. Like after night 2, that gets really annoying. The RNG base is really frustrating to get through. You have multiple objectives, and it just gets really tiring and frustrating. Rather than it just gets interesting. It's not that good. I'm sorry, but FNAF 2, you are not as good as your predecessor. I am sorry. As for Pizzeria Simulator, again, I think that's really good, but over time I found some different qualities in it, like Scrap Trap. I don't think are the best. Like, again, here's my opinion on Scrap Trap. I don't think he should be hated. He's just not the best in my opinion. He's not the best. Pizzeria Simulator, you qualify right in here because I think you're a really good FNAF game still. But there are problems. There were problems with Pizzeria Simulator, and over time I've realized it's not the perfect game that I used to slob over as a child. A little child. As for Sister Location, I'm gonna have to put you in not the biggest fan. Look, I don't hate Sister Location. Like, most of these games I don't really hate except for Special Delivery. Wrong, I'm wrong. I will say that Sister Location does have its good parts. I do like the atmosphere. I do like the jump scares, and I do like the lore. But again, the lore is very mixed upon that statement. The lore is not the best, in my opinion. The lore is where it gets really sci-fi, and they changed some things around the time of 1987 I'm not really so fond of. But Sister Location rightfully earns its spot in. I'm not the biggest fan. FNAF 3? I'll have to say, really good. Sorry. Actually, no, it qualifies. It's not better than Pizzeria Simulator. It's not. Okay, but it is a very underrated. Springtrap is a peak character design in my opinion. I think the lore is heavily underrated and heavily underlooked. Like, it has some of the biggest lore drops. Like, the Springlock sequence, need I say more? The Springlock sequence, the children, the endings. I mean, the secrets once you look upon the good ending. Everything, and the gameplay does get a little repetitive, which is why it's not perfect. But it is a really good, and it qualifies as a FNAF game. I think it is really well. And yes, the jump scares are its weak point. Like FNAF's jump scare, FNAF's for Springtrap's jump scare mainly. It's just walking into your office and it's not really scary. Kind of like the epoxy jump scare for FNAF 1. You get pretty used to it once after you're done. As for Ultimate Custom Night, I'll put it in mid/decent. It has a really fun time if you're looking for like a strategy based game, but don't expect it to be scary whatsoever because it's just a shaky screen, along with multiple crappy PNGs of characters we all know and love. It's just not good when it comes to jump scare territory. But when it comes to a game you want a challenge for, I think Ultimate Custom Night delivers. As a FNAF game overall, it's okay. It's decent. It's decent enough, but the jump scares are the absolute worst, and probably at its worst in the entire series. Probably even worse than Security Breach, which I will get to that. FNAF 4, peak. We all saw this coming. We all saw this coming. If you could tell by my attitude, we all saw this coming. The atmosphere is perfect. The lore drops with the Bite of 83 was perfect. The ending is still debated. It is the FNAF game with the most raised questions, but also the most solvable answers. It is also a FNAF game that delivers when it comes to jump scares, and I am a jump scare guy when it comes to horror games. I think it's an amazing FNAF game, and I think it's the best one. Originally, when I was going to do this tier list, I was going to put Help Wanted actually above it, but when I think about it, FNAF 4 is just too perfect. I think FNAF 4 belongs its spot in peak. I mean it. It's a peak FNAF game. Really good will be FNAF 1. FNAF 1 is one of the best games in this franchise and still stands up today. Like, the character designs, the horror, like the intensity and intense reaction behind when the player gets jump scared is just something they'll probably never feel the same after FNAF 2. Because once you get through the same three jump scares of FNAF 2, it's just repetitive and annoying. So you could say the same for FNAF 1, but the ambience still lurks there. And I really like that, because FNAF 1 is a really, really good FNAF game. And I think it belongs its place in really good. It stands out as the best one in the really good territory. So actually, no, never mind. I'm going to keep Help Wanted above. I might be a little biased, but that's my opinion when it comes to Help Wanted. It's actually above FNAF 1. Never mind. As for the last one on this tier list, I will put Security Breach in. It's above Ultimate Custom Night. I do like the gameplay. I do like the gameplay functions. The moon sequence is the moon sequence is awesome. The security bots are cool. I think one of the only jump scares that actually scare me in the game might be Vanessa and the white woman jump scare. But yeah, FNAF Security Breach. Where it falls flat, in my opinion, are the jump scares and the story overall. This is where I think Steel Wolves they're losing their spot. I think FNAF Security Breach, they never needed to bring Burn Trap into this at all. You could have had Vanny, and I think you could have utilized Vanny so well, but she ended up being wasted potential by the end of it. And I know that's been said multiple times on the internet, but she's just
Security
wasted
breach is
potential.
okay, is what I'm trying to
Burn
say.
Trap, I don't know what they were thinking when they made William Afton come back for, the fourth time? No, third time. My point still stands. It's getting repetitive now. We need a new ambiance to this villain. Security Breach does have a few good jump scares, but none that are piss-worthy, like FNAF 1, FNAF 3, maybe even. It's better than FNAF 3 jump scares, I'd say. When it comes to Springtrap just walking to your office. Yeah, that's not a good jump scare. But Security Breach, it does deliver in some of the story. Like, Glamrock Freddy is probably one of the best animatronics. I don't like what they did with Montgomery Gator. I don't know. I'm sorry to all you Montgomery Gator fans. He's not my guy. Yeah, Security Breach isn't the best game, but it does qualify. Doesn't qualify as really good, but it's decent. It's decent, and I had a sort of fun time with it, despite the glitches at the time as well. I'm not even gonna bring that conversation up, but I will say, yeah, it's decent. And that is my FNAF tier list. That's my opinion. Going from FNAF 4, Help Wanted, FNAF 1, Pizzeria Simulator, FNAF 3, FNAF World, Security Breach, Ultimate Custom Night, FNAF 2, Sister Location, and Special Delivery. These go range from best to worst. My tier list on Five Nights at Freddy's games, and I hope you all enjoy. Goodbye.